Hi everyone, this is the video for Thursday, April 30th, and today we're going to be using transition words to write body 2 for our process essay. It will be very similar to what we did yesterday when we wrote body 1. So as a reminder, the first draft of this assignment is due on Monday, May 4th. If you've been following along, you should have about half of the draft finished already, and if you follow for the rest of the week, you should be done on Friday. So, today we're going to be doing our second body paragraph and we're answering what are the steps in the process. In body 1, we talked about steps 1, 2, and 3. Today, in body 2, we're going to talk about steps 4, 5, and 6, and we're still going to be using transition words. As a reminder, a transition word is a word or phrase that connects sentences in a paragraph, and it helps us organize our ideas. We always put a transition word right before we have our steps. And we're using these time and sequence transition words because the steps in a process usually have a specific order. So we have these 3 different types of transition words to show time order. First, we use these words. Next, we use some of these transition words, and we're adding these today because our last step, step 6, is in body 2. So we're going to use one of these to introduce it. Finally, to finish, ultimately, at the end, or lastly. We will not be using these transition words today because we already did step 1 in body 1. So we'll be using these 2 boxes. Here are some things you're going to need today. You're going to need your brainstorming document. That's going to be in the classwork for Monday. You're going to need body 2 checklist. That's in where all the checklists are underneath describing a process essay. And you're going to need your draft, which you've already written in. And that's going to be in this part where it says write your essay here. Let me show you exactly where I'm going to get all of these documents. First, I'm going to go to Monday, April 27th, and that's where I'm going to find the brainstorming document. You are going to open your brainstorming document. Next, I need my checklist, so I'm going back up to the top to this describing a process essay section. I'm going to click here, and this has all of my materials that help me write this essay. We did body 1 yesterday. Today we're doing body 2, so I'm clicking on body 2. And then finally, I need the place where I'm going to be writing my essay. So where it says write your essay here, that is where my essay is, and I'm going to click right there. So I have 3 documents open. I have my brainstorming document. I have my checklist for body 2, and then I have my essay so far, the draft. And inside this document, I should have my heading, I should have my introduction, and I should have body 1. I'm going to write body 2 right under here, right underneath body 1. So let's see what I have to do for body 2. I'm going to be talking about step 4, step 5, and step 6. So when I go to my brainstorming document, I know that I'm focusing on these 3 steps. Step 4, step 5, and step 6. So just like yesterday, I have to start and introduce the step. This is how you're going to introduce step 4 because we're moving from one paragraph to a new paragraph. Another important step is to, and then I'm going to have my step. Another important step is to use interesting videos to explain the content. Then I'm explaining step 4. Some students are distracted because they do not understand what is going on in class. It is especially helpful in the beginning of the class to introduce new material using videos because they can communicate information quickly and help students visualize different concepts. So I have my transition, I have my step, and then I explained my step. I'm going to do the same thing for step 5. I'm going to choose a transition word from this section, the next section, and then I'm going to explain that step. Then for my last step, I'm going to use a transition word from this section and then give my step and explain my step. So underneath here is my example body paragraph 2, but where I need to write it is in my draft, which is right here. So I already wrote it here. I'm going to make sure it's in the right place. So it should be right underneath body 1. And I'm going to press tab to indent. So let's take a look. Here is my transition to a new paragraph. Another step is my step 4, to use interesting videos to explain the content. My explanation of step 4. It is some students are distracted because they do not understand what is going on in class. It is especially helpful in the beginning of class to introduce a new material using videos because they can communicate information quickly and help students visualize different concepts. Now, I'm looking for step 5. I used a transition word soon after, and here's my step. Call on the student to get his or her opinion. Now I have my explanation. A student is more likely to pay attention if they know that they have to answer a question. Also, sharing an opinion can help the student feel valued by the teacher and the class. Great. Now I'm on my last step, which is step 6. So I'm going to use one of the transition words from this section of the chart. Finally, and here's my step. Check in with the student during independent work. And here's my explanation. Distracted students need extra one-on-one time to stay focused. If you check in with them, you can answer any questions they may have and help them stay motivated. So let's review what we did. We used this phrase. Another important step is to start our body paragraph 2. Then we used step 4. We got all of the steps from our brainstorming page. I gave step 4. I explained step 4. Then I chose a transition word from the next category and gave step 5. Then I explained step 5. Then I found a transition word from the last section and I said step 6 and I explained step 6. And that's the process you're going to follow today to write your body paragraph 2 in the same document that you have the introduction and body 1. You do not need to turn in the document. I'm going to go in and check that you did it tomorrow, Friday, May 1st in the afternoon. If you did it, great, you'll get 100. If you didn't do it, it'll be a 0. If you end up turning it in late, I will just subtract 10 points per day. So please make sure you can contact me via email, Remind, or Google Classroom if you have any questions. So get going, get writing body 2.